Today we're going to talk about neurolinguistic programming in the workplace and how we can use it to our advantage. We're going to do this through 4 simple tools I've developed to help you sharpen your language patterns. First is the subtle use of presuppositions to gain favor. Second is tips to redirect thoughts from objectives to benefits. Third is the use of positive language to invoke emotional investment. And fourth is how to effectively communicate by observing body language. Neurolinguistic programming explores the relationship between the way we think, the way we speak, and the way we behave, and how it is influenced by and continues to influence our experiences and perceptions. What we're going to do is learn how to subtly use control of neurolinguistic programming in order to dictate conversations with clients and turn profitable results. This diagram shows us that the way people perceive and react to scenarios is congruent upon not only the words they hear, but is also based on other surrounding factors. For instance, if it's hot outside, if there's a loud train nearby, if the air smells like garbage, and if there's a rock stuck in their left shoe, the client is likely to interpret all these senses in an instant, and it will influence their decision. How many of you regularly eat at McDonald's? Now, how many of you know that they are notorious for their clever use of neurolinguistic programming in their marketing and advertising? One of the ways they do this is the use of presuppositions. A presupposition is basically a structure of language that makes an unverbalized assumption. A way we use this in everyday conversation, for example, could be running into an old high school classmate at the grocery store. After talking for a moment, you may say something like, "Well, it was nice seeing you again. I'm sure I'll see you the next time I'm in town." What you're doing here is creating a presupposition that they are moving along, and thus subliminally influencing them to mirror your politeness. They will subconsciously follow your command and move along, all the while never feeling offended. This is a picture of an old McDonald's burger box. You may recognize it. It reads, "Unique. You might even say it's delicious." Now, this statement makes 2 very devious presuppositions right as you're about to take your first bite. The first, by saying unique, they are presupposing that the statement has been made that the burger is unique, and they are answering your statement. Secondly, they are presupposing that you made the statement by saying, "You might even say it's delicious." In reality, however, I don't remember ever stating that the burger was unique, nor have I mentioned it being delicious. What it is genius. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. This simple marketing ploy has drawn thousands of dollars of profit over America in the last few years. Now, we're going to transition to how we can use language patterns to redirect someone's thoughts. This can be especially useful in focusing on benefits when a customer has an objection. Let's say you're offering a 2-day communications workshop in New York. The creative director may voice her objection by saying something like, "That's kind of expensive for a 2-day workshop." And you can counter this argument with a redirective statement such as, "This issue isn't about how expensive the workshop is. It's about how much more efficient your employees are going to be with proven effective communication skills." By doing this, you have negated her thoughts from the expense to the potential. Studies have shown that by using positive language, you're able to evoke an emotional investment from people. Sales researchers have proven that people buy based off emotion, and then later back it up with reason and logic. You may see this simple use of neurolinguistic programming pattern in everyday advertisements like these ones. Think of how happy you'll feel when you finally have a beautiful lawn. Think of how relieved you'll be when you leave our office. Think of how amazing you and your family feel when you finally move into this house. These specialists have boiled it down to this simple formula to invoke an emotional state that you want by presupposing that your reader, listener, or viewer will already do what you want. We do this by starting with, think of how, and then add your positive emotion. Continue with, how you feel when you finally and finish with whatever it is that you want them to think or do. Neurolinguistic programming goes beyond words and is influenced by body language just as much as it is by spoken language. If you observe closely enough, you can train yourself to really tune into other people's communication tendencies and learn how to effectively appeal to them. We do this by paying attention to subtle body language cues. If you're making a negotiation and you notice the client continually looks up, he is a visual thinker. If you notice the client looks side to side, he is an auditory thinker. And if he looks down, as he's considering a deal, he's a kinesthetic thinker. And this is important because it lets us know how we can choose words that resonate with our audience and access their emotions to work in our favor. If he's a visual learner, you'll connect him by using phrases like, "Does this look right to you?" or "I see what you mean." Auditory learners will respond better to phrases like, "Do you hear what I'm saying?" or "This sounds right to me." A kinesthetic learner will depend mostly on feeling to guide them, so they will be most engaged when you talk about your gut feelings or emotions. This practice of neurolinguistic programming patterns has the ability to introduce you to a new level of communication. With the use of presuppositions, redirection, emotional investment, and effective language appeal, you will be able to advertise directly to your clients. You already have the tools to accomplish anything you put your mind to. Now use your abilities to do great things.